Before we start the video, please go check out some of my other ones after of course you watch this one. Also please consider liking and subscribing. Okay, back to it. The Mandalorian, everybody knows him, aka Dad Pedro Pascal, and his iconic helmet. Don't forget Grogu. This show is widely successful and popular, even for the people who don't like sci-fi or Star Wars, so it's no surprise that The Mandalorian literally mercy-res the Star Wars franchise, and due to its success, sparked a lot of other Star Wars Disney Plus shows. But how exactly did The Mandalorian save a dying franchise like Star Wars? Relax, it's not dead anymore. I'm going deep into this. I'm breaking down Star Wars as a whole, how it's changed, what wasn't working, and how The Mandalorian fits into all of this. Let's do it.
I have a bad feeling about this.
I'm going as far back as 1999, the first Star Wars movie since 1983's Return of the Jedi. The prequel trilogy is somehow seen as one of the worst movies ever made, but people also have a nostalgia and praise for these movies for being so bad. Personally, I think Revenge of the Sith isn't so bad, but people were so excited to get something new and fresh from Star Wars, especially a prequel story. But instead, we got 3 bad movies. Don't get me wrong, they made a lot of money, and they're cool, but they're not good. Please let me know in the comments, and please tell me why you think they're amazing. In my opinion, I think the best things that came out of the prequels are the enemies like Darth Maul, Count Dooku, General Grievous, Jango Fett, and of course that awesome final fight between Obi-Wan and Anakin. So after Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars was just kinda over. But Star Wars was about to tap into another market, TV shows. Okay, so before The Mandalorian, we had Cartoon Network shows like The Clone Wars, and later on, Star Wars Rebels. And I know Clone Wars was cancelled and didn't conclude until recently in 2020, but at the time it was a big hit, and people really enjoyed the characters and the stories that were told between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, an important time in Star Wars lore. Plus, there's just certain things you can do in animation that you couldn't do in live-action films. Clone Wars gave us one of the best Star Wars characters, Ahsoka Tano, which had such a huge impact on the Star Wars community, and has very interesting story arcs than most characters we've seen in modern Star Wars. Another show that had a bad rap when it first came out was Star Wars Rebels. People did not like this show at first, similar to Clone Wars. It got better with time, but still, fans nowadays see Clone Wars as the better show, which is reasonable. But this show came to an end in 2018, unlike Clone Wars, which was cancelled for a couple years. This one ended on its own terms. But this next part is something that just really pisses off a lot of Star Wars fans, including me. Okay, this next part of the video is probably going to be the longest, so bear with me. Here we go. It was December 18th, 2015, and the world was met with one of the best Star Wars movies of the new generation, Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, this movie was extremely hyped up. I mean, it was the first Star Wars movie in 10 years, and it was well received. It made more than $2 billion. Not only that, it introduced a lot of interesting characters that us fans were really excited to see them develop and have really cool story arcs. Characters like Rey, Finn, Poe, Kylo Ren, and so many others, like legendary characters from the past, like Han Solo, Princess Leia, and even Luke right at the end. This was a very well-rounded, beautiful effects, awesome action movie. But of course, Star Wars fans have to dissect and have problems with everything. This was the first Star Wars movie with a female lead, which was Rey, and a lot of fans had problems with her because they found her annoying and criticized her about everything, which I didn't like because, I mean, Rey did her best. I'm not simping. But a real problem fans had was, and spoiler if you haven't seen the movie, I mean it's been a while, but just in case, Kylo Ren kills Han Solo, and it was like part of the fans' past died with him. He literally killed a very important part of old Star Wars fans, so of course they didn't like that. I was a fan of that because it introduced how strong and menacing Kylo Ren was going to be the rest of the trilogy. Oh, how I was wrong. This movie set up the trilogy to be really good, and yes, the entire trilogy was amazing. No! No, it was not all amazing. Now, after The Force Awakens came The Last Jedi 2 years later with the return of Mark Hamill, but the movie was not like the former. The story was wonky, the characters did not develop, the potential of the story did not reach the fullest. The only cool part was when Rey and Kylo were fighting in Snoke's throne room, but this was kind of the beginning of the WTF romance. Like, that did not make sense. If anything, it made more sense if Poe and Finn ended up together. Like, for real, so yeah, a forgettable sequel, but the third and final movie, oh lord. The Rise of Skywalker was the last shot that this trilogy could save itself. It could redeem itself and have a staple in the Star Wars series, but it did not rise to the occasion. Okay, Skywalker, in my opinion, was the worst movie in the entire trilogy. It was disappointing. As a Star Wars fan, it did not deliver. The ending was lackluster. The love story with Kylo and Rey was once again like, what? And I don't know. And the potential of the Knights of Ren was handled really badly. What would have been really cool, in my opinion, is if they introduced them to every movie. There's 6 in total, so 2, 4, 6 at the end, they could all come together. But, of course, that didn't happen. But I think what is the most lost potential in the entire trilogy is the Finn Jedi arc. It would have been amazing to see Finn, who was a stormtrooper, turn from brainwashed soldier to awesome Jedi. I would have loved to have seen it, but I kind of feel like the movie just forgot about him as it went on. And what sucks too is that he faced so much racism by dumb Star Wars fans, like really? But then again, that's not anything new. The movie was a disaster, and some time went by and Disney had a very big project in the works. Disney Plus is released and people are hyped, but alongside that, The Mandalorian Season 1 also dropped that same day, and it was instantly met with positive reviews. Everybody fell in love with Grogu, at the time known as Baby Yoda. Even The Mandalorian, Pedro Pascal, was a hit. He still is, this cool, silent, strong bounty hunter with an awesome design. Despite not showing his face until the very end of the season, you can still feel the emotions he shows through his body. This show put Star Wars back on the map. People who didn't even like Star Wars started watching this because of the memes and its popularity, so you know you had the bandwagon people on board. In total, the first season of Mandalorian was streamed for over 5 billion minutes. Wow. Because of this, Star Wars found an untapped market, live-action TV shows, and as a result of this, Obi-Wan was created, Andor was created, Book of Boba Fett was created. All of these shows would not be possible if it not were for Mando. But after Season 1 was over, people wondered if Season 2 would be better, and you better believe Season 2 was awesome. And yes, it was better than Season 1, in my opinion. It gave us an iconic finale that brought a lot of fans to tears. Season 2's numbers were phenomenal. It was streamed for over 8 billion minutes.
Oh my god!
That's crazy. The Mandalorian quickly became a household name and a very popular character in the Star Wars universe, and in my opinion is already as popular as Darth Vader. I'd say he's more popular than Kylo Ren, and I am very excited to see where he ends up in the future, how he grows, and also the future of Star Wars. As I've said, The Mandalorian Season 3 has just released and it is awesome so far, but as for the rest of the Star Wars universe, Andor was a very different show from the Star Wars. No lightsabers, no force, or any other cliche tropes from Star Wars. It showed the range that they had. A show that doesn't rely on the force, like I said, or powerful enemies. Instead, it gives a deeper look at the politics and the whole system of Star Wars. With another great actor, Diego Luna, Season 2 of Andor is already in the works, and a lot of fans, including me, are extremely excited for it. Not only that, another show that was a hit was Obi-Wan. That was like closure. To see that relationship that they had in the prequels end, it showed how Anakin was still holding on to the love he had for his mentor Obi-Wan, and in that final episode with the highly anticipated rematch, the emotions were definitely felt. The fans enjoyed the return of Owen McGregor as Obi-Wan, and as the recording of this video, Season 2 has not been announced. Hopefully it is soon though. As for the new trilogy coming out, who knows when exactly they'll be released and who will direct them and what exactly it will be about. I hope it's a brand new story with nothing involving the Skywalker saga or anything we've seen recently. What's interesting is the movie Kevin Feige and Patty Jenkins is reportedly not in development anymore, but the other Star Wars movie directed by Taika Waititi is still in development, so do with that information what you will. It's kind of crazy to see that if it wasn't for the massive success of The Mandalorian, we probably would have never gotten the rest of these shows. Thank you so much for watching. If I got anything wrong in this video, please don't hang me for it. Also, let me know what you think. Is Star Wars saved or is it doomed? Please like and subscribe, and please consider checking out some of my other videos. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.